Set to go here in Tuscaloosa. Glad you're with us on the SEC Network. These teams play tonight and again in Lexington on February the 6th. One thing you'll notice if you're a Kentucky fan, number 3, Kiki McKinney, is not on the floor. She is not playing tonight, normally a starter, dealing with a very, very bad headache that is keeping her on the shelf here this evening as Jordan Lewis finds an opening and powers her way to the basket.
As I said, she's a scoring facilitator, and those are hard to come by. Jordan Lewis has really found her game.
You see Blair Green, number 5, will get the start in place of Kiki McKinney.
And she can really shoot the rock. She's a totally different player than McKinney.
They move it around the perimeter. And a long-range try for Roper doesn't go, but the rebound is controlled by UK. Long-range shooting, not there. Bama gets the offensive rebound. The defensive rebound.
Right off the bat, Kentucky goes to their three-point game, and rightly so. They're averaging 36.4% from the three-point line. As a matter of fact, 13 of 27 versus Tennessee on Sunday from 3.
Jordan Lewis to inbound as it went out of bounds off the Cats. To Abrams, who nearly gets bumped off the play by Haynes. Jordan Lewis wide open, and the 3 goes down for Jasmine Walker.
Well, when Jasmine Walker hits the first shot, you better watch out, because a lot of times she's a real streaky player. Once she makes one, she might start feeling it.
She had 12 points and 15 boards against UK in their last meeting a season ago. Wyatt into the corner. Blair Green, no good, and a whistle. And the foul, of course, the head coach of the Kentucky Wildcats in his 13th year, Matthew Mitchell. He was at Tennessee as a graduate assistant. His assistant coaches are former UT players. They've all learned from the great Pat Summitt.
And he allowed to see how consistent Matthew has been at Kentucky. 11 times they've been in the top 4 at the end of the season in the Southeastern Conference.
Abrams to Richardson. Inside Araya Copeland. Shot doesn't go. Rebound off the series of fingers to Haynes.
Good offense right there, though, by Alabama, trying to get the ball inside on the post.
They haven't until now gotten the clear pass through, and now they do to Ryan Howard, and she cans the 3. She had 23 in the last meeting between these two teams, and as Rick said in the open of our telecast, she had 37 points and 9 boards in their game against Tennessee the other day, in which Kentucky won 80-76. Ryan Lewis fouled as she goes to the window. Personal on Jada Roper. It'll be her first. And there's Christy Curry, veteran head coach of the Alabama Crimson Tide. Her 7th year here at Alabama. 417 career wins.
Ironically, today I was speaking with Jordan Lewis, and I said to Jordan Lewis, I said, if you could, in one word, define what Christy Curry's like as a coach. And in one word, she said passionate.
There you go.
And that was a great, great definition of Christy Curry. Very passionate.
Of course, you've got to be passionate to be a head coach. I don't care what sport, what level. You've got to care and then some. Howard gets it back. And the miss. Araya Copeland on the rebound. Jordan Lewis playing with a knee brace on her right knee. Has a bit of a bone bruise around the horn, misses, but she's moving well. Gets the rebound and misses the layup, and here comes Ryan Howard the other way. They set it up for Howard. Always have to keep an eye on her. A nice pass inside. And after the pump and go, Sabrina Haynes misses. And Alabama has the rebound. Here's Megan Abrams.
Fantastic defense by Alabama on that last possession.
Richardson around the D and the layup for 2.
Alabama playing downhill, Eli. That's the only chance they have tonight against this Kentucky team is you beat the pressure by taking the ball to the rim.
The new starter tonight, Blair Green, missing from the baseline, in for Kiki McKinney. Here's Jordan Lewis. Walker smothered. Loose ball, Blair Green has it. Up to Haynes. Good head of steam, runs into Copeland, who blocks it out of bounds. Big block shot for Araya Copeland.
Well, Araya Copeland's played so much better as of late. You know, she was injured and Alabama missed her, but there she is with a block right there saying, get that stuff out of here.
Matthew Mitchell says, I need to make some substitutions, and he does just that. 15, Chastity Patterson is in, has the basketball. Number 12, Amanda Paschal, a quick lefty, is also in the lineup now. And a whistle underneath and a foul on Kentucky's Chastity Patterson.
Speaking of Chastity Patterson, transfer from Texas.
Yep.
The #1 point guard prospect in the country in 2017.
Loves that pull-up jumper. Bama on the inbounds. The Crimson Tide has led, as they do now, by 6. Largest lead of the ball game. Kentucky has never led. Here's a turnover for the Tide. The Cats come the other way. Paschal. Wide open, Patterson for 3.
She also won the three-point contest at the McDonald's All-American game, as you can see.
In the oh by the way, the oh by the way department. Yeah. Abrams can't get away from Amanda Paschal defending. Here's Hannah Barber for Alabama. To the window and a whistle inside.
As you can see, Kentucky's going to live and die by the 3. Every player that comes in the University of Florida back in the day when I was coaching, so that's a long time ago, Eli. Right. But very, very well brought up and wonderful manners and well-spoken. Very, very classy young lady.
By the way, Rick Moody's going to have a 3 in the key with Ryan Howard later in our telecast today, so stick around for that. Alabama with a lead now of 11-6. They have led by as many as 6. Kentucky has never led. 15 is Chastity Patterson. 14, Tatiana Wyatt. 10 is Ryan Howard. Bounce inside, turnover as it's taken away by Ashley Knight. She clears it out to Sierra Johnson, and it's blocked over the shoulder by Howard, coming back in a hurry.
By the way, Ryan Howard against Tennessee.
Yep.
She also blocked 2 shots, along with having 5 assists.
Right, not to mention the 37 points, the 9 rebounds. Sold popcorn at the half and drove the bus to the arena.
That's exactly right, Eli.
Yeah. Jordan Lewis. They don't come out on her, and the shot doesn't go for Sierra Johnson, but she'll take that one every time. Here's Paschal for Kentucky.
Sierra Johnson had a really good game in the last game against South Carolina, but she never attempted a 3. She played downhill all night long, getting the ball to the rim. She'd be advised to get the ball to the rim tonight.
Anya Galibo is blocked by Ashley Knight. Then the giveaway, and it's popped up by Howard for 2. Can't make those kind of mistakes as you get the ball out of your own zone, and went right to Ryan Howard, and Bama paid for the turnover.
Well, as a matter of fact, last year they outscored Alabama 20-5 in points off turnovers, Eli, and Alabama can ill afford to give anybody, but especially this Kentucky team. They're going to score on you two ways. They're going to turn you over, and they're going to shoot the three ball. And you've been able to see it right there.
Here's what happened back in February of 2019. Turnovers were huge, 24 for Bama, only 8 for the Kentucky Wildcats, and that obviously was part of that story.
But it deserves mentioning that Jordan Lewis did not play in that game, so that probably had a lot to do with it. But Alabama must have ball security.
Bama averages 14.9 turnovers a game. Kentucky forces 22.3 turnovers a game. Nice block again by Ryan Howard. What doesn't she do well?
She's just I mean, there's nothing that she doesn't do well, except if you ask her, she will tell you a couple of things.
And that's what a champion does.
That's exactly right. But the bottom line is, I still think that Jasmine Walker needs to continue to play at the rim. I think she's capable of scoring at the rim, and she is Alabama's go-to player.
Jordan Lewis tripped up as she was going to the window. And that's the second on Chastity Patterson, the junior from Houston, Texas. And she is going to take a seat as Jada Roper will check back in. Roper, of course, is an excellent passer. One of her strengths, as Johnson has it on the inbound. Lewis around Wyatt, puts it up too strong, but Deja Benjamin inside for her first bucket of the night.
Boy, she's played well for Alabama in the last 6 ball games, as a matter of fact. Really struggled early in the year, especially with the 3-ball, but she's found her three-point shot, and she's even playing around the rim a lot and really getting it done for Alabama offensively.
Howard no good. Roper the rebound. Howard again. Paschal into the corner. And a 3-try doesn't go. That's the story right now. Kentucky is only 3 of 9 in 3-point opportunities. Bama hasn't taken that many, but they're 1 of 2.
Well, Benjamin really, I mean, getting in there and getting an offensive rebound put back. Alabama, the other thing that Kentucky's not really good at, that's rebounding the ball. Coach Mitchell worked on it for 20 minutes at shoot-around today, but still, Alabama must attack the offensive boards.
Their defense on the transition at times has been a little problematic as Benjamin shoots it off the front of the rim and it goes out of bounds. If there is an Achilles tendon, an Achilles heel for Kentucky, it would be the defense in transition.
That, and if you don't turn the ball over to them and make them score in the half court, not giving them easy buckets in transition off of turnovers, then you got a chance.
Late first quarter, you see the score. And there's a double dribble and the turnover against Kentucky's Sabrina Haynes.
Well, I think both feet came off the floor when she shot faked right there, and they indicated double dribble, but I really believe it was an up and down travel.
Call it what you will. It's a turnover against the Wildcats. Benjamin into Ashley Knight, who hands it to Jordan Lewis. Inside to Knight, off the glass for 2. Nicely done over top of the 6'3" Tatiana Wyatt.
Well, that was a nice job by Ashley to help get the ball in bounds. A little handoff to Jordan and then running through the play and getting the ball back from Jordan for an easy layup for Alabama.
7-point lead for the Crimson Tide, their largest of the night. An opening and driving to the basket. The shot is tipped away by Alabama as goes out off of the Tide.
One thing that Ashley Knight struggled with is getting down the court, as you see right there, streaking down the floor and establishing her low post position. She's 6'5" on a 5'7" kid. Easy basket.
Blair Green to Roper. 3 on the shot clock, 2-1. She'll force it up and gets fouled before she unloads.
Well, the last thing you want to do is bail somebody out, not when they're she's 10 feet from the basket, but she didn't even have a look at the basket, so you don't want to bail somebody out and send them to the free throw line.
But Brittany Davis fouls her. So her first. And Roper's at the line.
Boy, she's got a nice shooting stroke, Eli. But you look at the rotation on the ball. It rolls off that index finger and that middle finger. It's going dead straight at the front of the rim.
Just a
nice arch.
Yeah, a strong combo guard right there, Roper is. Rebound Alabama in the final 35 seconds of the first quarter. Alabama's led by 7. Kentucky has never led. Spinning move, hard off the glass, too strong for Sierra Johnson. Now Haynes. You see the time remaining in the quarter. Johnson rebounds. 4 seconds, 3 to Jordan Lewis. 3, no good, and 3%, and that's a big difference right here.
And one other stat, Ryan Howard 2 of 5 from the three-point line. Only one other player's hit a 3 for Kentucky right now.
Bama also has 8 points in the paint. Kentucky has none. Here's a long range outside try that doesn't go for Sabrina Haynes. Bama running again with Daisha Benjamin at the keyboard. Benjamin finds Ashley Knight.
Ashley Knight, pressure release again in a tough situation for Alabama.
Ball loose with 5 on the shot clock. Abrams 3. Abrams with 2, puts up an air ball. And that'll be the turnover with the shot clock violation for Alabama.
But that's not the kind of turnover that kills you right there.
Right.
Hey, you ran good offense. You didn't turn the basketball over. You didn't give Kentucky an easy basket in transition off of a turnover. So not a bad job by Alabama of executing on the offensive end.
Kentucky's a very physical team. Here's Haynes. They get to the free throw line a lot. Kentucky does. 3 on the shot clock. 2 gets it away, and that is a Bama rebound. Abrams. Now Amber Richardson. And a foul. It'll be the first on Sabrina Haynes. Hey folks, this week we'll kick off the gymnastics season with not 2, but 3 meets in a special Friday Night Heights. We start at 6 Eastern, 5 Central with Missouri and Kentucky. Then we'll take you to Athens for LSU taking on the Georgia Gym Dogs. And we'll wrap up the night with the big rivalry matchup between Alabama and Auburn. All 3 meets can always be seen live on the ESPN app as well. Copeland with that personal foul. It'll be the first on Araya. Bama with a 6-point lead. They've led by 7. Paschal over the defense. Loose ball to Kentucky. Green. And there's a 3 by Amanda Paschal from the perimeter.
2 threes by 2 guards for Kentucky, both of them lefties. Isn't that strange?
It is. Here's Lewis being watched by Blair Green, who's in for the injured Kiki McKinney, who's not playing tonight. She's dealing with a headache. And there's a turnover as steps are taken by Brittany Davis. There's Kiki, by the way, on the bench. Came over and talked with us before the broadcast, and she just had an excruciating headache that wasn't going to allow her to play today.
But she didn't lose her personality.
No, not at all.
I guarantee you that. She's another one of those great kids. Matthew Mitchell does such a great job of identifying people that he can coach, and McKinney is going to be missed tonight a lot by Kentucky because she is a great, great kid.
Long range tray, no good. Off Blair Green's try, and here comes Brittany Davis. Leans in and gets hit as she goes, and the whistle. It'll be the first on Amanda Paschal. Number 23 there in the middle. She has been an interesting story this year. The transfer from junior college, everything in JUCO. She scores 23 against North Carolina. Then the other day against South Carolina, only played 5.5 minutes, no points, 1 rebound.
Well, since that game where she scored 23 against North Carolina, I don't know if that's anything to be concerned with, but she hasn't played as well since then. And, you know, I've got her on my sheet, her and one other player, as X factors for Alabama. If she does get going and Sierra Johnson gets going, Alabama's a totally different team.
She's 1 of 2 from the stripe this evening with 1 point. Green. And another 3 from the outside. Amanda Paschal. So now what had been a 7-point lead is a 1-point advantage for Alabama, as Kentucky going now 4 of 14 from Treyland, trying to shoot themselves back into the basketball game here in the first half. Lewis, no, but a whistle as she drove the baseline, and a whistle on the catch. You know, Trey Yanity, it's been a very, very tough schedule for Alabama, and it's not going to get a whole lot easier at all, is it?
Well, that's right, Eli. This team takes on number 14 Kentucky tonight after playing number 4 South Carolina after opening in Baton Rouge against a good LSU team. And like you said, things aren't getting any easier for this group. 2 out of their next 3 opponents are in the top 25. Talking to Coach Curry this week, she told me no team in the SEC is going to be an easy win. They just have to stick to what they're working on and try to build some confidence along the way. Getting a victory tonight would mean a lot for the confidence on this team.
And there you see where those games can be seen on the ESPN family of networks.
Eli, an SEC schedule is like a big elephant, and you know how you have to eat an elephant?
In small bites?
1 bite at a time.
I was close.
1 bite at a time. So you can't look ahead, you can't look back. You got to play today, and you got to make plays today if you're going to win in this league.
My other guess was going to be with a little meat tenderizer, but I guess that's not the answer you were looking for.
Oh, me. What a joy.
Hey, it's a Thursday night. We're at the gym. What could be bad with that? We got folks at home looking on. Alabama and Kentucky, first meeting of the year. As we mentioned earlier, they'll play in Lexington on February the 6th.
I'm so blessed, Eli. Not only do I get to sit here next to you, but which is a
I don't know
treat.
if that's a blessing or not.
It's a treat. It's a blessing. But I also get to go to shoot-arounds. The coaches are nice enough to let me go, and I'll see what they work on and what they prepare for. Alabama worked 20 minutes today on defending out-of-bounds plays, both on the baseline and on the sideline. And they come out here and don't execute. Well, they got over the screen. That's what they were working on doing, but got a little bit too physical on the shot.
Nice setup into the corner, wide open, but the tray won't go for Sierra Johnson. They set it up perfectly, though. There was nobody within shouting distance of Sierra.
The other X factor.
Yep. Amanda Paschal. And a 3 again, this time Tatiana Wyatt. A great post player with 3-point range.
And former teammate to Araya Copeland.
Yes, they played together in Columbus, Georgia. Won the state championship in high school. We'll get more on that here shortly from Trey, but here's Araya going over top of her old teammate, and that one drops down for 2. So Kentucky took the lead. Now Bama takes it right back.
And when Alabama is at their best, I'm not saying they don't need to be shooting any threes. I'm not saying that at all. I'm not their coach. But the bottom line is they're better playing through, inside out, and getting the ball on the post.
And there again, the feed to Ryan Howard, who pays it off. And Kentucky back on top, 21-20. Nice backdoor cut, nicely done by Copeland, and Lewis saw it all the way, and that was
something.
All right, Trey, thank you very much. Bama, 1 of 5 from Treyland. Rick, Kentucky is 5 of 15 from outside the arc.
33%, which is like shooting 50% on twos when you put the pencil to it.
Green sets things up again. Howard. Bounce back, Green. Ryan Howard. And forget about 5 of 15. Now 6 of 16.
So Alabama's philosophy coming into this game on the scouting report: make her play from mid-range or at the rim. Do not allow her to catch a wide open shot for a three. Don't let her catch it. And if she does catch it, you got to be there on the catch and make her put the ball on the floor, or she's going to continue doing what she's done thus far.
Second foul on Blair Green, the young lady from Harlan County, Kentucky, who is starting and playing tonight in place of Kiki McKinney, who is out with a headache, a debilitating headache that just would not allow her to play. Shot doesn't go for Bama. Rebound Kentucky. Amanda Paschal. Stops, pops, shoots. That's a long 2. That's a long 2. But that gives Kentucky their largest lead of the night. They're up by 4. Another turnover. Ryan Howard fouled in the process. That was not a smart play. Megan Abrams commits an unnecessary foul. Just let her go. She was in. She was going to lay it up.
But
why foul?
When you turn the basketball over, guess what you're also going to do? You're going to come back and try to make up for it. A little bit too much right there. No need to even stick the hand in there, because Ryan Howard's going to score anyway. Now she's got an opportunity for a three-point play.
Howard with 13 already. She has 13 of Kentucky's 28. And it stays that way as she misses the free throw. Here's Lewis. 6-point lead for the Kentucky Wildcats as Jordan Lewis misses the layup, and it goes out of bounds. Off whom? Off Kentucky. It'll be Alabama ball.
Eli, Alabama's tendency so far this year is to go through certain periods of the game, sometimes even an entire quarter, and that's been their downfall in the games that they've lost.
That breaks a 7-0 run for the Wildcats. The basket by Walker does.
And ironically, I asked Coach Curry about that, and she said, we got to get the ball to Jordan, to Jasmine Walker. She's the go-to player. Alabama executes an out of bounds underneath and does just that.
Kentucky is 6 for their last 6 on field goal tries. That one breaks that streak, and Ashley Knight pulls down the miss by Tatiana Wyatt. Alone, right side, deep corner, too strong. Rebound, Kentucky's Howard. Off the miss by Daisha Benjamin. Howard stops. Benjamin goes by, and that's almost not fair.
Well, she's in the zone.
That's almost not fair.
You say we got to keep Howard with 15 right now, Eli.
The only person anywhere near double figures. Paschal has 8, but Howard with 15. Walker, no good. You got to make those bunnies when you're in close. She got around Anya Galibo, but has to make the shot go down.
I think it was a great call from the bench by Alabama to get Jasmine Walker going to the hole, and then Kentucky comes back down and buries another 3. Sabrina Haynes, shooter. You got to get a hand in her face.
They have made 8 of their last 9, the Cats have. They now lead 33-24. 9-point lead, largest for either team, and another Alabama turnover. Everything that Bama shouldn't be doing, they are doing here tonight.
And everything Kentucky should be doing to get back in this game and take the lead, playing on the road, 35-24, creating turnovers, playing their game.
10 turnovers already for Alabama. And a scoring drought of 2 minutes and 10 seconds now. And a turnover again. That'll be the 11th for the Crimson Tide. And here comes Kentucky with Amanda Paschal controlling things. Haynes. Shot doesn't go as Bama was late getting out to cover her. Down to the final 30 seconds of the half. And folks, by the way, coming up at halftime, a great interview. Tom Rinaldi will be joined by Joe Burrow in advance of Monday night's college football playoff championship game between LSU and Clemson. Tom Rinaldi and Joe Burrow coming your way at intermission.
Bad number for Eli for Alabama. 10 turnovers at this point in the game.
So who's going to take the tray here to try and end the half? Well, it won't be a 3, but contested 2, and she makes it, Ryan Howard, and that is going to do it as the half ends, with Howard now holding 17 points on her day.
Out, as she said, and play a lot better on both ends of the court in the second half.
All the strategies are great. The bottom line in this sport is you got to put the ball in the hole.
Well, in this sport, that's right. It's called making plays, and you will not win a game in the Southeastern Conference without doing that. And missing those shots right there is what we're talking about. You got to make that play.
Amber Richardson had the try, wouldn't go, and now Jada Roper, the senior out of Memphis, Tennessee. And there's a reach in. No, they're going to say she traveled before she was hit. The turnover, only the 4th turnover of the ball game for the Kentucky Wildcats.
Absolutely amazing. They lead the Southeastern Conference in turnover ratio. That's how many times you turn it over versus how many times you turn your opponent over. They do a fantastic job.
Richardson finds Uriah Copeland, and she'll go inside over top of Ryan Howard for 2.
And when Alabama was ahead in the first quarter, that's exactly what they did. They had a little bit more patience. They didn't turn the ball over, and they played going downhill, getting the ball inside.
And off the miss by Haynes, Abrams goes the other way, and Haynes will reach in and commit the personal foul. It'll be her second. Nice play, though, before for Uriah Copeland, wasn't it?
Well, it was really a good find right there, just getting her the basketball down there, and then patiently and using her left hand protects the ball and finishes, and a big shot for Alabama to get some momentum going.
You know who else was patient there was Ryan Howard, who just backed off by a stride, did not commit a personal foul.
The person that she's speaking to over there on the sidelines right now, Matthew Mitchell, I'm certain has instructed her, no silly fouls.
Right.
Don't you do it.
And Abrams with the 2 freebies. And Bama draws to within 9. Chastity Patterson with 2 fouls. No, the rebound, though, for Wyatt. She misses. And all of a sudden here early in the 3rd quarter, the Cats not nearly as proficient on 3-point shooting. And the roll for 2, and timeout, Kentucky. Timeout, Kentucky, as Alabama has drawn to within 7. Coming up.
Well, I did. And I like coaching indoors, so I don't want to go back outdoors. Football, I guess, because I really enjoyed being a head football coach early in my coaching career.
There you go. 3 in the key and 1 at the press table with Rick Moody.
But my dad would whip me for saying that, because he coached me in baseball, and he was a heck of a baseball coach.
And somebody's coaching these UK Cats on shooting the ball, because Blair Green just hits a 3 from outside.
Really good timeout right there to try to change the momentum by Coach Mitchell. Comes right back out, gets the play set up for a wide open 3.
Abrams makes that one go.
That's what you call right there playing downhill, Eli. Alabama got away from that in the second quarter, started shooting too many jump shots and lost their aggressiveness, and it really changed the game.
Again, for those of you just tuning in, maybe didn't catch it earlier, Blair Green, number 5 in blue, starting and playing tonight in place of Kiki McKinney, who has a very bad headache that kept her out of action this evening. And Ryan Howard's shot no good. Rebound, Green's got it. She'll force it up and gets fouled as she goes up with the basketball. It'll be a 2-shot opportunity here.
Normally a great free throw shooter. She struggled a little bit at the line this year, shooting only 66%. And if Kentucky has another weakness, it would be at the free throw line.
Amber Richardson commits the personal, her second. And Blair Green with the 2-shot opportunity. Hey, don't forget, folks, the SEC Network will have you covered from New Orleans for the national championship game on Monday. We'll kick things off with Marty and McGee at 2 Eastern, 1 Central, followed by the Paul Feinbaum Show. Then it's the SEC Nation pregame show at 6. That'll take you right up to kickoff. And if you'd like, you can watch the game against Clemson with the LSU radio broadcast in the background. You can finally wrap up the day with our SEC Now post-game show, highlights, interviews, and a complete game breakdown. That's Monday. You can watch it, as always, on the ESPN app from wherever you might be.
One player that's definitely came out of the locker room with a little fire under her is Megan Abrams, number 1 for Alabama. Really playing aggressively to the rim, creating offense for herself and for her teammates.
That foul was on Chastity Patterson, number 15. It'll be her 3rd. That's why she didn't even try to make a defensive stop on Jordan Lewis, who just has a quizzical look on her face after missing that shot right there. There's Patterson with the 3 fouls, the junior from Houston, Texas. Jordan Lewis. And look at Ryan Howard. She will play every position in the course of a ball game.
And she has tonight, Eli.
Yep, all 5 positions. Doesn't matter where or what, she'll do it. Patterson for 3. My goodness gracious. That'll be the 9th 3-point basket for the Wildcats. They're 9 of 23 for 39% from Treyland. And nicely done in a foul. Nicely done for Sierra Johnson, and the whistle.
Sierra Johnson, the X factor. She's got to get the ball to the rim. Finally, she attacks the rim. She can score on anybody. She's great at creating her own shot, and that time draws the contact and finishes and one.
The second foul on Wyatt, and Johnson to the free throw line, where she is taking her first shot this evening.
On top of that, Eli, she's the best free throw shooter on the Alabama team. She needs to be doing, you're not going to get to the free throw line very often shooting fall away threes. It's just not going to happen.
At 81% free throw shooter. Cashed in her only opportunity thus far tonight. Mariah Copeland on good defense against Anya Galibo.
Tough luck right there. Sierra Johnson had the ball ready to go and lost the handle on it.
Outside to Howard. Size mismatch against Abrams. Wow.
You can't guard her any better.
You can't guard her any better than that. The English and spin she put on that shot, cashed in right off the glass beautifully. There you see, leading the league is Ryan Howard, averaging 22.6. She's got 19 tonight. And there's a foul on Chastity Patterson, her 4th, as the bucket goes for Jordan Lewis.
I would not have minded being in that prayer meeting in the Alabama dressing room at the half, because Alabama has come back out and played so much more aggressively. And, you know, how do you beat pressure? You don't beat it by shooting threes. You beat pressure by attacking the rim and forcing the defense to rotate.
And that also forces Patterson to the bench with 4 fouls. Missing the free throw, follow up for 2. Sierra Johnson aggressively inside, gets the bucket. Bama to within 8. Having trailed by as many as 13. Alabama led by 7 in the opening half of play. Here again, Howard. And she gets slapped as she goes to the key. So the whistle and a personal foul, and we have got timeout here in Tuscaloosa. Back after this.
Kentucky, yeah, you expect them, but those bottom 3 teams right there having great seasons, playing really good basketball.
And from the free throw line, Ryan Howard.
She's playing pretty good basketball too, Eli.
In the what else is new department. In her last 4 games, Howard scored 26 against Louisville, 29 against the Cal Bears, 28 against South Carolina, 37 against Tennessee, and 20 here tonight as Bama cashes in right there with an opening.
Again, playing downhill, Alabama attacking the rim.
It's a 7-point ball game. Still only in the 3rd quarter, as you see on the bottom of the screen. Howard, 22.
6'5", in your face, arms extended to about 7'5". Oh my gosh!
I mean, it's a treat to watch her. It really is. Those are the numbers I was just telling you about seconds ago. And she's got 22 already today, still with a quarter and a half to go. Ashley Knight blocked away by you-know-who. Ryan Howard.
Boy, we had sitting right on the perfect angle. You could see Benjamin looking at Ashley Knight. You could see the hand and a perfect pass on the post entry.
And now the jump ball. As who else reached in to tie up Ashley Knight but Ryan Howard. Surprised she didn't sing the anthem, and that's about the only thing she hasn't done here tonight. You know, it doesn't matter who you're pulling for at home, whether you're a Bama fan or a Wildcat fan. It's a treat to be able to watch it.
And it was a treat for me to be able to talk to her today. What a fantastic kid.
And there is a offensive foul. It's going to be Blair Green. Watch it again. Not number 10, but watch Green just shove Megan Abrams out of the way.
I would say that was a pretty obvious call right there, Eli.
The 3rd on Green, who is playing for the ailing Kiki McKinney, who's out with a bad headache. Jordan Lewis rims out, no. Rebound. Ashley Knight was going for it and got fouled.
Well, again, Matthew Mitchell, he did not get where he is today by making bad coaching decisions. If you noticed, Kentucky comes out of that last timeout, comes out in a zone defense because they could not guard Alabama one-on-one. They couldn't keep them from getting to the rim. So they go zone. Alabama obviously shoots a wide open 3, but does not knock it down.
Ashley Knight hits the free throw. The personal foul was on Ogechi Onyegalibo, her first. We've talked about size tonight. Again, Kiki McKinney is not playing this evening.
Absolutely.
But nevertheless, that's the size for Kentucky.
And Blair Green is at best a stretch 4, so Ryan Howard is a guard. So the only post player on the floor would be Tatiana Wyatt.
Whereas Bama, they do have size.
They do have size, and that's why they need to attack by going through the post.
And that doesn't even count the injured Shelby Gibson, who is out. She too is 6'3", as you saw another 3 rain in from Ryan Howard off the perimeter. Ashley Knight tied up in a package. Loose ball. You know who's got it. Thought about it, Trey. And is fouled in the process of taking a deuce.
You know, you get so frustrated, Eli. I mean, she scores right over the top of you, and finally, when you have an opportunity to try to contest a shot right there, you come up, and Ashley Knight with an obvious foul right there on Ryan Howard.
It'll be her first, and Howard goes to the line.
But what else are you going to do?
No.
It's just, it's either do that or she's going to make everything she looks at and misses the free throw.
She does. She's 2 of 6 from the free throw line. Isn't that something? I'm always amazed. Not that I can do any better, certainly. It's so tough. You hit all these shots from everywhere, leaning in, falling back, threes, all this stuff. Then when you're alone at the free throw line, they don't go in. Tough to figure.
And an 81% free throw shooter coming into this game.
There's traveling. A turnover against Brittany Davis. That'll be the 14th turnover against the Crimson Tide. If you're curious, Kentucky has 5 turnovers for the entire ball game.
Well,
5.
Again, discipline, practice. You don't throw dangerous passes if you're going to play for Matthew Mitchell. Unless you're Ryan Howard, you can throw one.
Yeah. Blair Green inside. The arrows in Alabama's favor. And the Crimson Tide will have the basketball.
And Coach Curry, rightfully so, trying to get one of her most explosive players on the court and get her some playing time. That's Brittany Davis, a very capable, as you indicated, everything in the junior college leagues down in Florida. Really needs to get going for Alabama, just like Jasmine Walker just did, bombing a deep, deep 3.
Big time tray for Jasmine Walker. She is 2 of 2 from Trey Land tonight.
Alabama keeps sneaking back in, only down by 7. Minute 32 to go.
Wildcats have led by 13. Bama has led by 7. Turnaround Jay. Blair Green.
Blair Green, not a great post player, but from 15 feet and out, very deadly.
She was on the SEC all-freshman team last year, you might remember. It worked before. This one doesn't go. Rebound tipped around. Loose in the putback. No, but there is a foul inside.
I believe that foul was on Ryan Howard.
It will be her first. Howard had 23 against Bama in the last meeting last year. She has 25 here tonight. There's Jasmine Walker.
Well, Jasmine Walker did not get that award right there for no reason at all. Miss Alabama basketball in high school. Had a great, tremendous high school career. Left Alabama and came back to Alabama from Florida State.
Exactly.
And it had a lot of stick-to-itiveness right there by getting 2 offensive rebounds, but could not convert the second of the free throws.
Howard.
But she can convert one from 25. 25.
That's 25 feet for her 28th point. Nice delay. Shot doesn't go. Bama's got the rebound for Davis. A nice floating left-hander for 2.
As I said, one of the more explosive offensive players on the Alabama team, and that's the first bucket for Brittany Davis tonight.
She had 1 free throw, now the 1-for-1 from the floor.
Get ready for a treat, Eli. Get ready for a treat.
8 seconds in the quarter. Good if it goes. It does. Another three. Goodness gracious. It is raining trays here in Tuscaloosa tonight.
And really, if Alabama's going to win, everybody out there on the court is going to have to contribute, including Brittany Davis.
Here now, Sabrina Haynes with the basketball. Paschal with her 10 points. Tight defense. Green. So what else is new?
Wow, you just don't see that. I mean, men's basketball, women's basketball, I don't care.
There are people on the Kentucky bench who smiled and covered their eyes and shook their head. I'm being dead serious here. Jada Roper and a bunch of the ladies there just shook their heads, could not believe what they were watching as Bama gets the bucket right here. But watch this.
Off of a dribble handoff, Eli.
Yeah, watch this three, though, with a hand in her face.
You cannot hardly, you can't get your hand up quick enough. That's the problem. She's off of her feet so quickly. It's amazing, and that's a 1-2 jump shot. And when that the second foot hits the floor, she's off the floor. And she's 6'1".
She is. The foul by Wyatt was her third. A 12-point lead for Kentucky. Green, too strong, but the rebound comes down out of bounds, does Ryan Howard. She got the rebound, but she was standing on the out-of-bounds line.
I just happened to be watching. Jordan Lewis was doing everything she could to put a body on her, and she could not catch her.
Here now is Lewis. Araya Copeland fouled by Ryan Howard. It'll be her second.
Alabama has a chance to win this game, but it's got to start right now. I don't think being down 12 with 4 minutes to go in the game, Alabama, if they're going to have a chance, I believe they're going to have to make a run and get it within 6 points. That would be the goal with 5 minutes left to go in the game.
Araya Copeland, no. By the way, folks, if you've not watched any of these SEC Network telecasts, you may not know that I ask Rick Moody prior to every telecast, watch the magic number tonight, which means what will be the number that whichever team gets there first, they're going to win the ball game. And the coach told me well in advance of the start of tonight's game, he said magic number is 72.
And I'll stand by it.
Paschal. And there's traveling. Little indecision by Tatiana Wyatt.
Defended by Araya Copeland.
And the 8th turnover by Kentucky. Bama's got 14, which in light of the fact that they forced 22 a game, that's not bad.
Well, considering the fact that Alabama had 10 at the half,
yeah,
and they only have 14 now, that's 4 turnovers. But the big number is points off turnovers. That's what you really have to pay attention to.
Abrams on the running layup, won't go. Here's Howard the other way, one bounce to Paschal. Jumper doesn't go for Wyatt. Lewis. Nice bounce to Araya Copeland. And she gets the bucket for 2.
I heard Coach Curry saying, go, go. And finally, Jordan Lewis turns on the jets, gets inside, draws the defense. Nice little dish. Araya Copeland with a finish.
Here's Green. Another.
It's very difficult to cut into a lead when every time down the score, they're scoring 3 and you're scoring 2.
And now Ryan Howard just 3 points shy of tying her career high of the other day against Tennessee. And there's a blocking foul. Hey, folks, don't forget tonight the SEC Now team will be right back after the LSU-Texas A&M women's basketball game to recap all the games of the evening with highlights, analysis, interviews, and everything else. It's at 11 Eastern, 10 Central. Remember, nobody covers the SEC like we do, and you can also see it streaming live on the ESPN app.
Eli, I've watched Jasmine Walker play a lot of basketball. I've been very fortunate to do that. And tonight, I've never seen her as aggressive going in and attacking the rim and getting to the free throw line. And she's a tremendous free throw shooter, but tonight she's struggled from the free throw line. I'm trying to look at and see exactly what she is from the free throw line tonight. 3 for 5, 3 for 6 now. But she needs to get to the free throw line because that's the kind of things that you're going to have. When your team can't score, they're going through what we call one of those lulls. Get the ball to her and let her get to the free throw line.
Now it's going to be Kentucky ball again. But first,
to see this young lady do what she's doing.
And you see she's out there, she's smiling, having a great time. If Bama's going to make a run, they got to start doing it here in a hurry. Nice move, not enough English on the layup, but the foul by Ashley Knight will be her second.
And the only thing that she has struggled on is the free throw line, 2 for 5.
She's 2 of 7 from the line. Hey, folks, the SEC Network has you covered from New Orleans on Monday for the National Championship football game. Kicking things off with Marty and McGee at 2 Eastern, 1 Central. Followed by the Paul Feinbaum Show. Then it's the SEC Nation pregame show, taking you right up to kickoff. And, of course, you can watch the game between LSU and Clemson with the LSU radio broadcast team if you so desire. Then finally wrap up the day with our SEC Now postgame show. Highlights, interviews, and a complete game breakdown. It's all coming up on Monday. And, of course, you can always watch it on the ESPN app from anywhere. 2 from the free throw line that time for Ryan Howard, and she's within 1 of her career high, set in just her last game. She's going to have to be the player of the month, the player of the everything. Ashley Knight misses in close and loses the rebound to whom else? Ryan Howard. It's then turned over to Alabama, and Jasmine Walker sets up Jordan Lewis, and a whistle.
Well, you got to give Alabama credit because they went at the halftime and it was very, very bleak.
Yep.
They came out in the third quarter, and really made a run. The only problem was that Ryan Howard stopped the run by continuing to score and hit threes and do everything else for her team. So Alabama never did really get close enough to put a lot of pressure on the Kentucky team.
Jada Roper is in as Green takes a seat. Long range try is an air ball for Alabama, and it's covered up and taken the other way by Kentucky. And now a whistle underneath and an offensive foul call.
What a great job right there by Amanda Abrams. She has really, really played good in the second half. She's been taking the ball to the basket. She's been contributing offensively. She's been on Ryan Howard most of the time, doing all you can do. And there she takes away a three-point basket and still gives Alabama at least a chance by taking the charge.
Foul on Sabrina Haynes. It'll be her third.
And Kentucky goes back to the zone.
Lewis. Walker. Got it for 3.
And probably will not be in the zone next time down the court.
Bama to within 10. Alabama has led by 7, has trailed by 15. With the clock obviously very much in Kentucky's favor. Ryan Howard no good on the running layup. Underhand try. Jordan Lewis. Here now Johnson, the whip pass inside. Araya Copeland for 2 and a foul.
Sometimes the X factor doesn't necessarily have to score, but she has to create offense for her teammates. What a drive by Sierra Johnson, and what a dish right there to Araya Copeland, and playing through the contact with the left hand with a little kiss off the glass with an opportunity to cut the lead to 7.
Anya Galibo with the personal, her second. Copeland no good, rebound, battled for, and it's taken by Kentucky. Here's Ryan Howard bringing it up the floor inside of 5 minutes remaining. Howard, finger roll, no, but she was fouled in the process.
Finally, Jordan Lewis sees the dribble penetration by Ryan Howard, her friend, steps up to take the charge. I did not have an angle to see if it was any movement, but I think she was falling before contact is what got her.
Two-shot opportunity here. Watch this after the foul. Watch what happens here. Watch Ryan Howard reach down and pick up Jordan Lewis, and a little smile between the two buddies. And a new career high right there for Ryan Howard. She had 37 the other day against Tennessee. She now has a career high 38 here tonight against the Alabama Crimson Tide. And it's going to be Kentucky ball going the other way.
And who else creates a turnover for Kentucky?
Do I dare guess? Ryan Howard,
yes,
of course.
Yes, sir.
Turnovers now against the Crimson Tide. It's up to 15. Kentucky with 10 turnovers. Shot no good. Howard fakes and then travels.
And
turnover number 11 on the catch.
Excuse me, who else makes a hustle play besides Amanda Abrams? I mean, she closed out hard to try to distract Ryan Howard, and she did, causing a travel. Shuffled the feet.
38 points for Howard. The team only has 71. There's another turnover against Alabama. Their 16th. Howard, unreal. Absolutely unreal. 41 points now.
On the floor, guys.
And I remember earlier in the game when she was hot, I said if she keeps going at this pace, she's going to get 40.
Yeah, you did say that. She's got 41. Johnson to a Copeland and a foul from behind. And that will be Howard on the foul. You know, it doesn't matter where this Kentucky team plays. They've had road wins already at Virginia. Not an easy place to play.
Absolutely.
They've had a road win in Berkeley against Cal Bears.
A really good team.
They won at Middle Tennessee State. It doesn't matter if they're at home or on the road. They have just been so good. They have started off the year with a record of 12-2. They started 10-0 for the 5th time under Matthew Mitchell. Araya Copeland with the pair. And it's still an 11-point deficit, but the clock obviously very much in Kentucky's favor.
And the point guard for Kentucky has the ball.
Ryan Howard, and she gets bumped off the play. And Sierra Johnson will pick up the personal foul, her second. The third team foul.
Kentucky with 74 as we speak, with Ryan Howard at the free throw line. So 72 was a pretty good guess.
And don't forget, the SEC Now team will be back after the LSU Texas A&M women's game tonight to recap all the highlights, which obviously will include Ryan Howard's outstanding performance here. That's at 11 Eastern, 10 Central tonight. The SEC Now team. Remember, nobody covers the SEC like we do, and you can also see it streaming live on the ESPN app. 43 for Howard. Copeland on the hook and close. It won't go. Rebound, Howard.
First of all, she contested the shot, then she got the rebound, and what's going to happen next?
Roper, Haynes, Bango.
That could have been the nail in the coffin right there, Eli.
15-point lead with 3 minutes to go. Deja Benjamin to Lewis, and she hits a three. And that will slough this league is.
And I don't think that the scheduler for whoever does the scheduling at the SEC office got a Christmas card from either Matthew Mitchell or Christy Curry, because it is a brutal, brutal schedule in the beginning for both of these teams.
2.5 to go. Shot clock at 5. Nobody's going to guard. The shot doesn't go. Rebound tipped back outside to Haynes. So now just bleeding some clock. And she travels, does Ryan Howard.
And Jordan Lewis is right there to assist.
And they say something to each other, and a big smile on both faces. Nice feed to Araya Copeland. Benjamin gets it to go. Tell you, the bucket to Deja Benjamin. Araya Copeland's playing herself a good ball game tonight. 15 points and 3 rebounds for Alabama. It may well be in a losing cause, but nevertheless, Araya's playing well. Haynes. 5 on the shot clock. Going down for another 3.
Well, you got to give them credit. I mean, that's all you can do. And Alabama desperately need to get a win to get going in the Southeastern Conference, but looks like it's going to be a tough, tough loss for Alabama.
16 trays tonight. There's right at 51.6%. 16 of 31 from Treyland.
That will win a lot of basketball
I don't
games.
care if you're playing on the streets of Lexington or the streets of Tuscaloosa.
Men's,
that'll win
women's,
for you.
it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You go 16 of 31, you're going to win a lot of games.
You're right. Men, women, aliens, doesn't matter. You hit 16 trays, you're going to win. And a nice stutter step move, and Sierra Johnson draws the foul by Amanda Paschal.
As a
excuse me, it'll be Anya Galibo who picks up the personal, her 3rd.
Matter of fact, Eli, the Alabama men's basketball team is proving what we just said to be true when we talk about three-point shots, because right now they're hot as a firecracker. I mean, they're lighting it up and they're shooting them quick.
In the top 6 in America in scoring numbers, the men are for Alabama. Matter of fact, the men head to Lexington for an early morning game on Saturday at Rupp Arena.
And I think it'll be a good one.
Yep. Kentucky's good, but Bama can force your hand some. It'll be an interesting game to watch. That's Saturday at Rupp, an early game.
And I don't know if I've seen a more improved player anywhere than John Petty for Alabama, the way he's playing.
Meanwhile, here, after Alabama led early by 7, the Wildcats have gone out by as many as 15 tonight. And the whistle on the foul. Another foul on Anya Galibo. It'll be her 4th. Araya Copeland now takes a seat, and Allie Craig Cruz checks in, number 12 in white. Johnson, yes, and a foul. Sierra Johnson with the bucket.
And once again, we talk about the, you know, sometimes as a player, you got to know what you're best at, and you got to play to what you're good at. And she is really, really good at getting the ball to the hole. Almost impossible to stop one-on-one. Good free throw shooter, not a great three-point shooter, so play to your skill level. What do you do best? and then let your strength speak for your game.
The foul on Paschal, her second. And the free throw for Johnson is good. Alabama, at this point, looks to be heading to an 0-3 conference start. Howard, no. Looks like the basketball gods have said, you've scored enough. 43 will do it for you. 20 seconds to go. Jordan Lewis hands it off. Swiped away by Roper. And that is going to wind our way down. 6 seconds, 5. Clock escaping down to zeros, and that is it. An 81-71 victory for the Kentucky Wildcats, and number 10, she'll be joined